Delight to be with you here on this Monday as we head into another week. Monday's always a great opportunity to serve the Lord. You come off of Sunday, and I trust that you're encouraged. The Lord was very good to us over these last few days here as we had 3 days of prayer as a church, and I was just absolutely thrilled that a majority of our church did participate in these prayer meetings. And Monday should be, after the Lord's Day or after times like that, should be a time of spiritual lift. But oftentimes Satan does love to come along and try to snatch away the seed and to discourage, so we need to be aware of that and be on the victory side. Now, what I want to talk about today is the false perspective that the world and Satan gives. We read in Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 14. And speaking of the false prophets, they have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. You know, it's awful when you have a message given that is wrong. We're having the message given that immorality is the way you can be fulfilled, or all of the issues about gender and the need to just do what you feel like you need to do, and then just the way to have peace in even international affairs is really the wrong way to handle it. And we watch that, and it's disturbing to us. But folks, we really have to understand the world only has these types of ways to try to come up with how to have peace, through drugs, through drink, through other kind of habits, and escaping into entertainment, escaping into the internet, and so many other things, trying to gratify themselves. And so they talk about peace, and we know it's not true. Well, I shouldn't say we don't know it's true. We often are fooled by it. Many Christians think that the lure of the world actually will give peace. But my point today is for us as believers, we need to, as we hear this, realize we have got to have peace ruling in our hearts, as Philippians chapter 4 talks about, in such a clear, obvious way that the world realizes, oh, there's a difference in that person's peace versus what we seek for out here in the world. Churches should have that glorious reality of the joy of the Lord and the peace of God, so that the lost come in and realize there is something here because Christ is here. That Christ is the Prince of Peace. In fact, he said, I'll give you my peace, the peace that the Father gives. And so that deep, abiding peace ought to be a reality, and it ought to be a testimony. When we're filled with anxiety and we're frustrated and we're agitated and we're with people that are out in the world and they don't think right, and we even get upset with that, well, there's no way they're going to be attracted to the gospel. But when we spend time in the presence of God, as we are in His Word and in extended prayer, and when we are with God's people and we go to the throne and God meets our needs as we understand what His Word says, and the peace of God really does rule, then our testimony can cut through the false teaching, the false ideas, the lie of Satan, and we're able to declare the gospel of peace. So I want to encourage you today, the best thing you can do, not for yourself, because we all love peace, but to have the peace of God for the sake of dispelling all the wrong thinking of our day, so that we can give the glorious news of the gospel.